Welcome back to another Get to Know the Pro video. Today we are getting to know Jonathan Fernandez. Welcome, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So first and foremost, John or Jonathan, what do you prefer?
Um, it doesn't really matter. I mean,
What do your friends call you?
some of my close friends call me Jay.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, now we're
um,
getting a little too personal. All right.
yeah, John, that's fine.
Why don't we let you first of all introduce yourself? Excuse me. Where business name, where you're from, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Like you said, Jonathan Fernandez. My business is Hero Services. We're a landscape and pressure washing company located here in beautiful Georgia, Kenton, Georgia, to be exact. And yeah,
I'm jealous of the weather.
uh, it's been raining nonstop. I mean, I feel like we've gotten 3 nice days in February so far. So,
Hmm. Allison, you're going to enjoy it soon enough. It's better than what the rest of the country in the U.S. is
oh
getting.
yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your name first of all. I think it's important that everybody understand kind of the background here. Hero Services. Why Hero Services?
So my professional job is I'm a firefighter paramedic for a city in Atlanta, Georgia, and I just thought Hero Services would be a great catchy name,
Mhm.
and yeah, we just went with it.
So you're not satisfied to just be a paramedic or just be a firefighter. You got to be both.
It's kind of a requirement where we work. Mostly everybody's a paramedic or EMT. Uh,
As well.
so.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You're not the first. We've got a few UAG members in particular, and as we have in the past, but a few this year that are moonlighting,
Mhm.
doing double duty, either as law enforcement, paramedic, EMT, firefighter, first responder, in essence. I'm going to ask you why is there such a draw to first responders to the lawn care
Um,
industry?
I think it's just we do have a lot of time off because we do work 24 hours straight, most of us. And I just feel like we want something that's completely different from what we see every day and what we have to deal with. And being outdoors and, just getting stuff done and like accomplishing the common goal of just cutting somebody's yard. I don't know. I just feel like it's satisfying. Um, yeah, it's a good place to clear your head. So.
Do you work on your own when you're doing the lawn care business?
I started off on my own, and that was the goal. And we just started growing. I needed help, and so I started employing guys that worked with me at the firehouse. We do have one sheriff. He's younger than us. He just became a sheriff, and I I think that's going to be the common goal is just to try to hire first responders.
That's fantastic. So these are guys that work on opposite shifts to you? Is that how it works?
Most of them do. Some work on the same shift, and we just get off in the morning, and they meet me up, and we go to work. But yeah,
That's awesome. Were you nervous about the growth? Knowing that you're doing that on the side?
I'm more excited about it. I mean, this is just an experience that I thought it was going to be a little mom and pop, uh, shop, and we just expanded, and I'm excited. And I hate to say it, but I'm more excited for this than I am sometimes going to the fire department, just
Yeah.
because it's something that I built.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I totally understand that. What is your so would you say let's talk a little bit about your growth. Has the growth been because you've been trying to grow, or did it just happen organically?
Um, I haven't been doing anything different as far as like advertisement or anything. This year we are gonna try some new things, but I just think word of mouth. People just need work to be done and don't have the time or don't know how or don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think our work kind of just propelled us to get bigger and bigger. So.
Is there what do you think it is? about this industry that, I mean, you said that it's completely different for you as a, you know, I mean, as a firefighter, as an EMT. Is it, do you find that it's almost, is it acts as a stress relief to be able to get out and do something outside, just, you know, to keep your mind occupied in that time off, given that you've got such a stressful job?
Um, yes and no. I mean, we all deal with stresses differently. I just feel like the satisfaction of, like, even when we pressure wash or when we just do normal, maintenance, when we go there, we show up, we see the condition the property's in, and when we leave, we always leave it looking better. I just feel like that satisfaction of, you did something, um, goes a long way. So.
Cool. Do you, what's your intention now that you're growing? Do you see this taking over your schedule full time in any time in the near future?
I do. My goal is to. We started getting to hardscapes, and my goal is to have a maintenance side of the business and then a full-time hardscape side of the business. And that's really where my passion is. And I love building. I love creating things out of nothing, and that's where I want to take the business. So.
Interesting. Is do you have a roadmap? I'm just curious because, you know, I've been asking a few of our pros this. Do you have any kind of a roadmap looking forward into the next 2 to 3 years in terms of what steps you're going to take each quarter or each year to get to that goal, or are you just allowing it to happen organically?
Um, we've had some systems in place to accommodate financially for that.
Hmm.
But as far as the equipment to get it done, I want to purchase my first um, heavy equipment this year or towards the end of the season to help us along that path.
Is how do you manage your work life balance? Because, you know, I mean, especially when you're working 24 hours, you know, 24-hour shifts when you're on,
Hmm.
you know, and then this can be long hours in this industry as well. How do you manage that, the off time with friends and family?
So planning accordingly. I mean, my social life, I got two kids, two girls. um Anytime that I have that I'm not doing either firefighting or working on the business, I'm spending it with them. Right now I have one of them behind me right now playing. um but yeah, just managing your time, just planning accordingly, and sticking to your schedule. Don't break it for anybody. That's
So let's shift gears here a little bit. What's the you just joined the UAG program. You applied amongst the thousands of others that applied to be part of the program this year. So you're now one of our new mentors. I know one of the reasons that you're on is because you are a first responder and you're running this business as well. I don't want to say you're working part time. Those people that have been watching these videos know. In my mind, you guys are maybe part time hours, but full time business. So to me,
Yeah.
it's not a side hustle because it takes a lot to run a business like this because you need all the same equipment
Yep.
uh, with less income because you're doing it for less time. So it becomes challenging. Now you're running it over and over again. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the advice that, or sorry, not before we get to that, why? You know, why is it that with everything that you do, you wanted to be part of this UAG program? I'm curious. I think other people might be curious to know, is it right for them? Is it not right for them? What are your thoughts on it?
So I came across a YouTube video probably about 3 years ago. I remember it was Ambrose Landscape, and they were just the videos that they were putting out and the quality of work that they were doing was amazing. I was like, man, I could do that. And then just doing a little bit more research, I found out, I came across the UAG program, and I was like, man, if they're a part of it and they're doing good things like this, I need to be a part of it. And that's when I applied. It was about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You didn't make the cut the first year, but
no.
you made it the second year.
Yeah.
So, what are your first impressions?
It's a lot more than what I thought. As far as the community information, um, just the knowledge, and everybody seems like a sense of pride that hey, look, I'm part of this, and it's not an easy thing to be a part of. There's a lot of people that apply, and I was just grateful to be one of them.
Yeah, it's true. It's a lot of work and it's volunteer. So
Mhm.
you're not getting paid for anything that you do in terms of mentorship in this community.
Yeah,
It's something that
it's
everybody.
challenging my schedule as far as making sure I'm putting stuff on the calendar, just so I can stay up to date. So it's helped with that organization. So
Yeah, no, that's true. That's good. So what is that? Is this something then going back to being an EMT? Is this something that you would recommend, others out there in different communities that, do what you do? Is this a business that you would recommend for any of them, or is it for a select type of person? What's your thoughts on that?
so the home service industry, especially landscape, it's very high in demand. And if you're like a type of person that likes to go on vacation a lot, you know, doesn't care about income, then this is not for you. Because you got to say you got to do what you say, and you got to deliver on that promise. If you say you're going to be there once a week, you got to be there once a week. So I mean, you could adjust your schedule if you have employees, but think about this as a full-time job. It really is.
Yeah, that's good advice. I think a lot of people don't understand what they're getting themselves into, and it's one of
Yeah.
the ongoing jokes that there's always twice the number of landscapers in April than there is in September.
That's true.
When people realize how much work it is,
Yeah.
especially in the middle of the summer, when it's
Yeah.
hot outside and humid and you're, sweating your, what off.
Yeah, but that's when your planning comes it's key. If you got really big properties, don't line up three big properties, right after the other, kind of break it up a little bit.
So now you're one of those guys that took on pressure washing as
Hmm.
part of the business, which
Yes.
seems to be very common. Well, I don't
Yes.
know how common it is, but I'm seeing it actually quite a bit. There's lots of people who do lawn care as well as pressure washing. Why? Like,
So,
what's the connection between those two for you?
well, here in Georgia, we don't get much snow. So during the winter months, yes, it is cold. It does get below freezing sometimes. But that's majority of our pressure washing is during the off season of landscape. So we kind of supplement our income with pressure washing. And it could be a business on its own, you know. I mean, there's a lot of good money in pressure washing. So if that's something you're looking into, by all means go ahead and do it because there's a lot of money in it.
Somebody that wants to get involved in that, maybe who hasn't. So if there's another lawn care pro out there, or landscaper, or hardscaper, uh, is there big barriers to entry, like equipment wise or
So,
training
in,
wise?
equipment wise, it's just like your landscape equipment. You're gonna need a trailer and you're gonna need a mower. That's gonna run you, you know, under $10,000. Let's be honest. Same thing with a pressure washer. A good system, commercial one, is gonna be around 10 grand with the trailer, and anybody could wash. Honestly, it's what sets you apart. It's the details. It's the walkway leading up to the curb. Make sure you get all that stuff done, and that's what's gonna separate you from everybody else.
That's interesting. All right, cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to allow everybody to get to know you a little bit better. For those of you who don't know Jonathan, depending upon how close you are to him, uh, check him out over on the Echo Means Business community. His articles there. It sounds like you should be doing a lot of articles on pressure washing because it's not something we have a lot of in our community. So if you
Yeah.
have any questions about that, you know how to get in touch with him now. If you're a firefighter, EMT, first responder, you want to ask some questions, this is the guy. But outside of our own community, Jay, where do they get in touch with you?
So I'm on YouTube, on Instagram. It's Hero Services GA. Um, yeah,
Cool.
and they
Everybody
could
go give him
email
a
me.
call. Oh yeah, don't give out your email here. You're going to get all kinds of spam.
Okay.
But we will all of his social media accounts are linked on his profile on the Echo Means Business app as well as on the app as well as on the website. Thanks, John, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Check out all the other videos here, guys.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.